Welcome to the next section in the lesson on resumes and CVs. In this video, we will discuss the art of writing effective bullet points for your resume. To get us started, what are resume bullet points? Bullet points are part of your resume where you go into specific detail about your past experience. These experiences can be from previous employment, from your education, or from volunteering or service activities. Regardless, the point of resume bullet points is to show your relevant skills and strengths. Relevant meaning your experience that is directly related to the position to which you are applying. Your resume bullet points should not be a list of everything you have ever done. Instead, the bullet points on a resume are like a highlight reel that showcases why you are the best fit for that specific position. With that in mind, that means your resume bullet points should be customized for the position that you're applying to. And to do that, you really want to remember the audience. Who are the people who are going to be reading your resume? There's going to be two main audiences. You're likely going to have someone in HR or in recruiting who is doing an initial screen of all the resumes. That person may or may not have a background in your field, so you need to make sure that your resume is written in language that that person can easily understand why you are a good fit for that job. Subsequently, if the HR manager or recruiter likes your resume, they will pass it on to the hiring manager. This is usually the person who would be your boss in that position, so they are going to have a technical background, and they will also want to see that you are effective in your work. So, you want to remember your audience and also keep in mind that you want to make their job easy. Make it easy for them to see why you are a good fit for the job. They are probably screening dozens or more of resumes. So you want to make it crystal clear why you should get an interview for that position. So how do you do that? Part of the answer is through crafting great resume bullet points. So what separates a good resume bullet point from a mediocre one? Let's break down the key elements that make a resume bullet point truly stand out. First and foremost, you want to use keywords from the job description. As we mentioned before, keywords are specific words or phrases that appear multiple times in the job listing. This is why customization is so crucial. You're essentially speaking the employer's language and demonstrating that you're exactly what they're looking for when you include keywords in your resume bullet points. The second critical element is including evidence of your success. And the best way to do this? Use specific numbers. Numbers are powerful because they provide concrete proof of your achievements and they're eye-catching. Let me show you the difference between two bullet points here. Consider this typical, kind of weak bullet point. Responsible for lab management and ordering. Sound familiar? This is what many people put on their resumes at first. But what does it actually tell an employer? Actually, very little. Now let's transform this into a more compelling bullet point. How about manage laboratory operations for a 15-person research group, implementing a new inventory system that reduced supply costs by 30%. See the difference? The revised bullet point immediately tells a story and provides context about the scope of your work. So how can you turn a mediocre bullet point into a great one? The easiest way is by using this simple formula. You can think of this as your secret weapon for creating compelling, impactful resume descriptions. The template I recommend follows a really simple but powerful structure. Action verb, what you did, how or why you did it, and then the results or impact. Let's break this down step by step. First, start with a strong action verb. This immediately brings energy and clarity to your bullet point. Words like managed, developed, optimized, implemented. Those are much more powerful than passive phrases like responsible for or worked on. Next, describe what you actually did. This is the core of your experience, the specific task or project you undertook. Then, explain how or why you did it. This provides context and shows your strategic thinking. It also helps the reader understand the purpose behind your actions. Finally, and this is crucial, conclude with your result or impact. This is where you demonstrate the value you brought to the role. If possible, quantifiable results are best. Think percentages, dollar amounts, or specific achievements. With our template in mind, let's break down our previous example of a great bullet point. Here, the action verb is managed, and then what you did was laboratory operations for a 15-person research group. How you did it? by implementing a new inventory system. And the result or impact of your work? Reduced supply costs by 30%. You can play with the order slightly, but the key is to include all 4 of these components. This approach transforms a mundane list of duties into a powerful statement of your professional capabilities. Now, let's look at a few common examples of not-so-great bullet points and how we can transform them into more powerful, impactful descriptions that truly showcase your professional capabilities. First example is a pretty typical example of a less than great bullet point that I might encounter. Something like experience with qPCR, Western blots, ELISAs, and molecular cloning. Sound familiar? This is essentially just a list of technical skills, and it tells the employer little about your actual capabilities. So let's upgrade this to a more compelling bullet point. How about optimized and executed molecular biology techniques, qPCR, Western blots, ELISAs, and molecular cloning, to characterize novel protein interactions, generating key data for 2 published manuscripts and 1 successful grant application. Wow. See the difference? Now you're demonstrating your technical expertise, explaining the purpose of your work, and highlighting your tangible achievements, all while still describing your breadth of laboratory techniques. Okay, here's another example. A weak bullet point might simply state, presented at Society for Neuroscience meeting in 2023 and Experimental Biology meeting in 2023. Not very inspiring. Instead, let's try effectively communicated scientific research findings through creating and presenting posters detailing current experimental results, leading to 2 successful presentations at international scientific conferences. This revised version emphasizes an important transferable skill, effective scientific communication, and describes the impact of your work. All right, let's do one more. A basic bullet point might read, maintained mouse colony and conducted experiments. Not very exciting. And are you confident that the person in HR will understand what you mean by maintained a mouse colony? An improved version. Developed and maintained a system to inventory mouse cages, optimizing colony organization, reducing redundancies, and decreasing overall cage costs by 14%. That's much better because it describes what mouse colony management involves using broadly applicable language and describes how your work impacted the bottom line. The key for writing great bullet points is to move beyond simply listing what you did to explaining how and why you did it and what a difference you made. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Can you use AI to help you write your resume bullet points? Well, the short answer is yeah, but with some important caveats. AI, like ChatGPT, can actually be quite helpful in writing resume bullet points. However, you need to be extremely careful and ethical in how you use it. The biggest risk? ChatGPT has a tendency to hallucinate, meaning it might completely fabricate work and experiences you never actually did. Imagine asking it to write a bullet point about your scientific writing skills, and it generates a completely fictional description about the number of publications that you have. Yikes, that's a no-go. So, how can you use ChatGPT effectively and ethically? The key is to provide very specific, factual input for ChatGPT to use. Instead of asking ChatGPT to simply write a bullet point from scratch, you want to give it the specific details of your actual work. Here's a recommended approach. Create a prompt that includes the 4 key components: action verb, what you specifically did, how or why you did it, and the concrete results or impact. Then ask ChatGPT to write a bullet point using our bullet point template. This is going to give you much better and more ethical results. Here's an example. For this, I gave ChatGPT a prompt telling it to write a bullet point using our template. Then I specified the action, what, how or why, and the results. ChatGPT then created a polished, professional-sounding bullet point based on my input. The critical thing to remember is that you must provide the factual content. ChatGPT is just helping you articulate it more effectively. Never let the AI generate content out of thin air. Let's recap the most important takeaways about writing great resume bullet points. First and foremost, your bullet points should be highly customized for each specific job you're applying for. This isn't a one-size-fits-all situation. Take the time to tailor for each application, and you'll see it pay off when you get more interviews. Use keywords and specific language directly from the job description. This helps you speak the employer's language and demonstrates that you are precisely what they're looking for. Always keep your audience in mind. Remember, you're writing for both experts and non-experts in your field. Your goal is to make both of their jobs easy. Make it crystal clear why you're the best candidate for the position. Include evidence of your success. Numbers, specific achievements, and concrete results are your friend. Don't tell employers what you did, show them the impact you made. And remember to stick to our bullet point template. Action verb, what you did, how or why you did it, and results/impact. This formula will help you transform a lackluster bullet point into powerful statements of your professional capabilities. If you choose to use AI tools like ChatGPT, do so smartly and ethically. Provide specific factual information and use the tool as a writing assistant, not a content generator.